Hi, everyone. So some of you are new faces, some of you I know quite well, and most of you probably know I'm very opinionated. So my opinion today is that we need to send Lindsay Sabadosa to the State House. Please join me. I am so committed to Lindsay, and I hope when you leave today, you will also make that commitment, share your enthusiasm with your friends, face-to-face, via social media, any way you can. Remember the election date, right? The primary. Do we all know when that is? What'd you just say? Thank you. The day after Labor Day, right? It's a Tuesday, September 4th. So keep that, put it in your calendar. Remember that you should be in town and get ready to spread the word. If you're like me, sometimes I'm not as well educated about the candidates on the ballot. And so what do I do? Maybe what you do. There's that friend you go to. For me, that friend is Hosey Baskin. I don't see him here, but I see Sarah Budweiser. And I call Hosey, I said, who am I voting for? Well, I'm not doing that this year. I know exactly who I'm voting for. I'm voting for Lindsay Sabadosa, and I'm going to tell Hosey when people call him, he should say that, and you should too. The way name recognition works is you spread the word to the people you know who are influencers. Okay, so I've told you what you need to do, but you shouldn't be convinced. I think I need to tell you why you should be supporting Lindsay. Okay, I believe Lindsay has the qualities that are the best of an outsider and of an insider, right? She's not a traditional politician. She's been a community organizer. She's been supportive of activist organizations, including helping start the Pioneer Valley Women's March. She has been, on the issues, she has been a champion in 3 key areas. In terms of health care, she supports Medicare for all in Massachusetts. And again, this theme of being both an outsider and an insider is true of that issue. As an outsider, she is organizing, working in coalition with others to try to make that happen. But also, as an insider, she has been meeting monthly with the late Peter Kokett to push that forward, and he was very supportive of it. So she has the energy and the attitude from the outside, but the connections on the inside to make that happen. Also on healthcare, she's been active in Planned Parenthood for years. She helps secure for us access to contraception at no additional cost, as well as confidentiality for patient records. And when I say Planned Parenthood, I mean that sort of as an umbrella to talk about women's health, where she is a leader in that area. So that's health. On the other issues, economic issues, she is part of a coalition called Raise Up Massachusetts that supports the $15 minimum wage in the state. Also, on the economic concerns, if we care about jobs and we want to grow our communities here, we absolutely need high-speed rail or any kind of rail from Western Massachusetts to Boston, and she supports that. She's a supporter of criminal justice reform, and so many other important issues. And this kind of insider-outsider thing is part of what's changing in our politics. If you think, the only question people have asked me, everyone's supportive of her, the only question is, well, does she have experience, enough political experience? And I think she absolutely does. And it's really about how we define politics. Is politics just sort of pushing papers around and showing up for votes? I don't think so. We've seen in the last year and a half a new kind of politics, which is people power. And this is what really makes change. Anyone can draft legislation or have the issues down. But what have we seen? After the Parkland kids, legislation changed, right? We had gun reform in Florida pass. Not perfect, but some. We had gun reform pass in Vermont, right? This happens because there's a marriage of community organizing and bodies in the streets finally demanding what we want, backing up our politicians, but new voices in office who will make those commitments to us. And I believe Lindsay is that kind of person. One last thing before I let her talk and I stop chatting myself is that she is, in her heart, always been a politician and activist. Her first political campaign began when she was 9 years old, and she protested to try to save her library in Westfield. Lindsay deserves to represent our community because she's part of it. She was born and raised in Westfield, and after college returned here with her daughter to make a life. And now I want to introduce her to you, our representative. I hope, I promise you, if you back her, she will win. Let's send Lindsay Sabadosa to the State House.